Hey friend, I'm gonna give you 3 poses that sell every time for subjects who are 7, 8, 9 months and up. If we haven't met, my name's Sarah Petty, and I am a photographer and founder of one of the most profitable photography businesses in the US. And it's my passion to help photographers not only make money, but be able to put their family first. You shouldn't have to choose. That's why I'm here. I hear from so many photographers, I'm not good enough, Sarah, or I'm not ready, or my clients aren't ordering or whatever. And look, here's the thing. I don't think you have to be the most creative photographer in the world to be able to run a really successful, profitable photography business. And so I also hear people say, well, Sarah, I can't really get going on my business or ramp it up because I don't have all the right equipment. Literally, I have a pro camera. So you want a camera that can print huge. And if you don't know if your camera can do that, call one of the big camera companies in New York, like B&H or Adorama, ask to talk to their camera department and pick their brain. They're super knowledgeable. I'm definitely not a techie girl. So get a good camera, borrow one if you have to, and a reflector like this, right? This is great because it zips in this little bag. I pop it open, I can prop it up on something, or I can have a mom or a dad or a grandma or somebody hold it. Do you see how it's hitting my face when I turn it? And maybe when you were a kid, you had a watch and you were bored in school, maybe anyone else? And you'd get the sunlight to catch the watch and you'd like aim it at the teacher's face. That's the same thing with the reflector. You're filling in the shadow side of the face by bouncing the light. Super easy. Google some videos on it and you've got it. Okay, so the 3 poses I'm gonna share with you, anybody can do using one window, natural light. You don't need a fancy setup. You guys who are in the northern half of the US or in countries that are super cold and you can't photograph outside anymore, you can photograph in someone's house with one window, a reflector that can even be a piece of foam core, and you're set. Boom. The first pose I always use with little toddlers once they're sitting up and then as they get older is putting them on a cool chair. I love this chair. This is a Womb chair by Knoll, and I know they make knockoffs, but it was not inexpensive. My husband's an architect and loves super cool designer furniture. And we got the orange one, but I realized that now I only buy things in neutral colors that I can use as props. So I have a gray one sitting right across from me that we use more for photos, but I love it because I can put a family member sitting here or a child leaning in, but it has a nice little corner back where I can nestle a little 6, 8, 9-month-old baby, one that's sitting up, and then, older kids can sit up. But I love a good chair, and I love using chairs that people have in their home because it means something to them. So you don't need to traipse around with a bunch of big chairs. Just walk around your clients' homes and find a nice chair, bring it over to the natural light, and then you can photograph. Now, my goal with every session is to create artwork that people will want huge on their wall. Something clean, big, and beautiful. I used to go to the park and chase kids around. They kind of call it spray and pray, where I was photographing, and then realizing I don't even know, I'm overwhelmed. How are they gonna pick if I can't even pick? Now I go back a step, and when I'm photographing, I wanna make sure that I have the intent to create artwork. And I know that a child in this chair will be absolutely beautiful and will sell all day long. Makes a beautiful, classic, big wall portrait. And for me, it's not as much about the set or the creative whatever. It's about getting that expression from that little juicy baby, right? Whether it's a giggle or a pensive look or looking away, looking down. There are so many beautiful expressions from little young people that make big wall portraits. So more isn't better. This is a conversation about fewer, better. Quality over quantity. Always, always, always. When I'm photographing with the chair, I have the mom or the grandma or whoever the parental unit is, I have them standing by. If they're holding the reflector, they're also spotting the child. I never want a child to fall off a chair. Never, 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 never. If you need a second person to sit and keep the child, safe, do it at all costs. It's all about keeping the child safe. But also then grandma or mom or whomever, I work often with moms. That's my target audience. So I'm just going to say mom from here on out, but fill in the blank of whoever that person is. They can be tickling the toes. They can be giggling. I have a little magic chair at my studio. It's just a piano bench that I spin them on. And so every time they come around, I get a different expression. Clicking the shutter, clicking the shutter, clicking the shutter, seeing a series of 3, of 4, of 9. So I'm really photographing with that end product in mind. And mom and grandma are keeping the child safe and helping me get all of the expressions that I know are saleable. Cool, right? Second pose that I photograph that always sells and is such a cool wall portrait is the child on the floor using natural window light and one reflector with a cool rug or even a hardwood floor. Whatever it is, it's just precious, especially with a 9-month-old who can't crawl yet. They're just adorable right there. That's my favorite age to photograph, where they're sitting solid, but they're not crawling or walking yet, and they just can't move. And they're usually nice and juicy. They have cheeks and precious little chubby fingers, long eyelashes. I just love that age so much. And so whatever I can get of them is precious. And then if they start crawling, I get down on the ground with them and I can get those images. Also, when they start being able to hold their own weight, I will often use mom and dad as a prop, or if it's just one parent where they hold the child's hands and I see their legs and feet and the little baby and they're smiling or they're pensive. That is a beautiful wall portrait. I think every child at that age should have that beautiful wall portrait. And you get the contrast between mom or dad's big hands and baby's little bitty hands. And so that makes it really cool. Here's an example of that exact age little baby on this little image cube all day long. That will sell. And number 3, when the baby can hold his or her own weight, standing at the window, looking out is so beautiful because we can get a profile of the baby, a serious look of the baby. You can see their hair if they have any. You can see the natural, beautiful light coming in. And if you're in a beautiful window, if you happen to go to a church or a building that has beautiful natural light, which you could easily do, and they have a big giant window, you could put the baby in the bottom third and just have a large wall portrait that people are going to want as a big, beautiful piece of art in their home. So I'm always thinking about what image can I create that people will really want to buy. Also, when I'm shooting with the window, if I call their name and they turn and look and they make different expressions, I see that as a series. Again, another product that they can't say no to. Hey, thanks for being here. Check out the free Kids Poses resource in the description.